With Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales in theaters now, relive the magic of the original 4 films in this amazing Blu-ray box set. Click the affiliate link below for more information. Geek culture events, because I just happen to really enjoy myself whenever I go. In fact, going to Comic-Con this year marks my 18th time attending, and I'm excited. Although after this particular situation, I'm a little bit hesitant, depending. Now, Comic-Con San Diego, at least, is a draw of about 150,000 people, and there's always the fear that some shit is going to go down. And in 2010, in Hall H, right before the Avengers panel, some dude was stabbed in the eye over a seating dispute. That was the first time anything like that happened there, and it actually made worldwide headlines. But in Phoenix, someone took it, well, I would argue, much further than it required. Of course, I'm talking about the arrest of 31-year-old Matthew Sterling. Sterling was apprehended by officers at the convention center for Phoenix Comiccon after they had been alerted about his attempt or his plan to hunt down and kill Jason David Frank, who was Tommy the Green Ranger in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series. Now, you might be asking yourself, why? I mean, why? Is it all the constant plot twists with the show? First he was a Green Ranger, then he became the White Ranger, then later he became the Red Ranger. The continuity lost me many times during that franchise. But other than that, what did Jason David Frank do to Matthew Sterling? Piss in his fucking Cheerios? I mean, the thing is, Jason David Frank is in what, his mid to late 40s. The show is well over 20 years old at this point. You figure the 31-year-old would have a good reason. Well, according to Matthew Sterling in a statement to the police, he wanted to go finish the job. His words were that he had stabbed Jason David Frank about 15 years ago, and he had unfinished business, which is why he brought a shotgun, 3 handguns, combat knife, pepper spray, and throwing stars to the convention center. I'm not making that up. He actually unironically brought throwing stars. I feel like we're back in the 1990s all of a sudden. But the point is, he went to the convention center. He circumvented the security guards to get in. He even didn't go to the replica checking station to make sure that the weapons you're bringing in ain't actually going to kill people, and then made his way onto the floor. Now, they wouldn't have known he was going to do this if it wasn't for the fact that a girl he was communicating with via text, via Facebook, had alerted police to some of the comments he had made about wanting to take out Jason David Frank, as well as what he calls Aphrodite cops, which just sounds like a porno you would find on Spice Channel back in the 90s. Basically, Aphrodite cops in this particular case are officers he deems to be bad. Essentially, cops that put on a smile, right? Nice outward appearance, but are truly evil. And these are cops that he would basically kill. He was intending to kill if they got in his way and he needed to protect himself or his friends. And when they were alerted to him and alerted to what he was wearing, which was basically all black attire, a red bandana, black face paint, and a shotgun bandolier, officers were able to apprehend him without incident. And that's good. That's very good that they got this guy. That is super scary that he was unhinged enough to go in there and attempt to kill Tommy the Green Ranger. I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't get it. I mean, people have weird obsessions, but the fact that he says that 15 years ago, he would have been 16 years old 15 years ago. And he stabbed Jason David Frank, who 15 years ago would have been early, maybe mid-30s. What was going on? What was going on? Right? But no, that's the truth of it. He went there with the intent to take this guy out. And I'm very glad. I'm very glad that Jason David Frank is fine. I'm very glad that the officers were able to be alerted to this. Honestly, kudos to the girl on Facebook for tipping him off. And I'm glad this guy wasn't able to cause anyone any serious harm. And that is an issue when you go to these conventions. It is very much a fear that I think is on the back of everyone's minds, but, you know, most of the time they go off without a hitch. And given the events of what happened this last week in Manchester, it's good to see that people are vigilant and people are willing to make the call to the authorities in order to save lives or potentially save lives. So if you want my honest opinion, that girl is as close to a hero as one could get, and she should feel very, very, very good about that. Matthew Sterling is clearly cray-cray, and I'm glad he's behind bars. And here is the craziest thing. You could tell Matthew Sterling was really wanting to do this when he had actually set a reminder in his phone to kill JDF, to kill Jason David Frank. Like, he set himself a reminder. He's like, okay, I got to do this. Okay, remember the day. This is the day it's got to happen. Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, he's been apprehended. He's been charged with attempted murder, resisting arrest, multiple counts of aggravated assault, carrying a weapon in a prohibited place, and wearing body armor during the commission of a felony, which seems relatively odd. Right now, there's no set time. You know, there's no list of how much time he could get if he gets convicted of everything, but he is being held on a $1 million bail. I don't think this dude's going to be walking the streets anytime soon, and I'm glad for that. I'm glad the people of Phoenix are actually safer with this dude off the streets. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Like, is this not one of the craziest stories that's come out of anything recently? I mean, we at least can look at it and realize that through the actions of concerned citizens, lives were saved. And that is the best thing. Again, it comes up with the fact that, like, you know, there's going to be the argument. There's going to be the argument of, like, how did this guy get a shotgun, 3 handguns, combat knife, throwing stars, of all things. Why throwing stars? You know, he clearly has mental issues. How is he able to get his hands on these weapons? And again, the idea there boils down to the fact that you cannot see mental health scars. They don't leave outward appearances. People aren't willing to know. And this isn't a debate over whether or not, you know, the Second Amendment needs to be called into question again. As I always like to say, in these situations, we need to do everything we possibly can to destigmatize these issues so people like Matthew Sterling can get the help that they need before it gets to this point. And we were lucky. And by we, I mean it's colloquial. You know, people at that convention center were lucky. They were lucky that there wasn't a gunfight. They're lucky that there was no killing of Jason David Frank, that there was no killing of Aphrodite cops. There was no killing of innocent bystanders just there having a good time. The sanctity of the Comic-Con has been preserved, and that is a very good thing. But again, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. If you guys haven't already, thumbs up that video, subscribe to the channel. Check back daily for more content from me. Get your friends in on the conversation by sharing it on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter if you want to support the channel. Links below in the video description. Right now with the adpocalypse, clearly PayPal works, Patreon works, Amazon affiliate really does help out. Anyway, just appreciate you guys watching. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.